This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, just to re-summarize what was discussed yesterday, we discussed about SDLC in a detailed way, right?
Yeah.
So, what are the phases involved in SDLC? So, right from gathering requirements to support and maintenance, these are the series of the activities will be involved, where set of the people will be involved in their respective activities, and they will just do from business analysts, they will gather the requirements from the client, and they will prepare business requirement specification, and then end in next phase planning, where in planning phase test manager as well as technical architecture people, they will involve, and they will just finalize the requirements by sitting with the client. Okay, and then design phase will come. So where the IT analyst people, okay, all big-headed people will involve in this. They'll just prepare high-level design document, low-level design document, just to get approval from the client what they were discussed, whether it is correct or not, and then developing and then testing. So after testing, you would be delivering it to the client. Okay, so delivery and maintenance. So this is the way. What are the organization you go? This is the standard standard technique. I mean standard activities they will follow. Okay, so this is how a software is being developed in an organization. So today we were hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so today we were going to discuss about Sdlc models. Okay. So 1 second. Yeah, so SDLC models, in the sense, a SDLC model will demonstrate how all development activities will be carried out for implementing a software. So based on the size of the project, time availability, cost, and resources availability, all SDLC activities may be carried out for the entire project. Okay, or these activities may be carried out module by module. Based on these, SDLC models are broadly classified into sequential models and incremental or iterative models. Okay, so as I mentioned yesterday, just a one word, how, on what basis, which is the model, our company people, like our leadership team, will decide which model, which project has to go on through. So it's completely based on the size of the project. Size of the project, in the sense, how it could be the requirements, and what part of application the client was expecting us to do. Means us to do means from the company perspective. Okay, so the size of the project, time availability. So when a project has given, when a set of requirements has given, they would be giving the duration also. This is the start date and this is the end date, whether it could be 2 years or 3 years. Okay, so the time availability, cost, and the budgeting. Cost in the sense, the budgeting, how much revenue should be generated, and what is the cost. No one will do anything for free of cost, right? So they will decide the cost also, and resources availability also. So based on the technologies involved in that project to develop a software, so we all are resources in the terms of company, right? So based on the resources availability also, mainly based on these four aspects, we are going to decide a model. So for that, we have sequential models and incremental or iterative models. So under sequential models, we have waterfall model and V model. The sequential models can be considered as very traditional traditional type of models, and it is suitable for small size of products. Okay, whereas incremental models are suitable for big size of projects. Okay, so as you can see here, waterfall model also following the same series of activities. Okay, uh, if the requirements are very clear, then only people will go for this waterfall model. Okay, so in this model, all the SDLC activities will be carried out one after another. Okay, for entire project. See, after requirement analysis, system design, implementation, testing, deployment, maintenance. So, if the requirements are very clear and if the size of the application is very small, then and the requirements are also very clear. This is the main point for this waterfall model. Then people will go for waterfall model, and only validation is enough for this. Verification may not be required because requirements are very clear as the size of application is small. As the flow of activities looks like waterfall, this model is titled as waterfall model. Like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay, so that's the reason we can call it as waterfall model. Got it right? See, we should not worry about it. This type of model will be completely pure decision by our big-headed people only, our leadership management team. We should not be bothered about it. But good to have a knowledge which model we were working on it. Okay. Whatever the model which we were working, our job is to, our prime agenda is to find the defects. We have to ready with the test documentation, and we have to give the quality free and functional product to the client. Okay, so whatever I had said, I just mentioned in a very elaborate way advantages as well as disadvantages. Okay. So basically, if the requirements are very clear and if the project is very small size, then only people will go for waterfall model.
Okay.
See, you can see, right, the activities are the same, just like Sdlc model activities only.
Yes.
But the process will be different. Okay. Coming to the V model. Okay, V model is best suitable for small size of projects, just like the waterfall model only, where the requirements are not clear. In this model, every development activity will followed by a test to find defects as soon as possible. That is, both verification and validation are applicable for this V model projects. As the flow of activities looks like a V shape, this model can be entitled as V model. See, same set of activities. Okay, every phase will be followed by a test. See, requirement analysis there. Okay, yeah, let me come. See, whenever one second. Requirement analysis is there. So there, what we will do after requirement analysis, system design will come. After that, architecture design. After that, module design. Means developers will create their code in a modules. Means piece of a code we can consider it as a module. Okay. So module design, and all modules will be collated and together they can consider it as coding. Okay. So on the coding, what they will do, they will perform unit testing. Okay. Yesterday I said, right, we have 4 types of testing: unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and user acceptance testing. So developers will perform unit testing and integration testing. In real time also, we are not supposed to do unit testing and integration testing. And these 2 types of testing purely based on the code only. Okay, as we do not have the technical knowledge on it, we are not supposed to do. It's fairly developers responsible to do it. Okay. So once the coding was done, we would be doing the unit testing. Okay, so here in this module design also we'll be cross check verifying. Okay, in all these activities we were involved actually, means our testing team. Okay, just to verify only whether the things are going in a right direction or not. In this case, the requirements are not clear, even though size of the application is very small. Okay, so every time, after each and every activity, we should take the approval from the client. We need to discuss. We need to discuss with him, and then only we can able to proceed to the next activity. Like this, it could be. Okay. If you can see here, okay, coding. So after coding, what the developers will do, unit testing. After unit testing, integration testing. Okay, after integration testing, they will give it to our testing team. Here we will perform system testing. Okay, after system testing, sometimes client will do acceptance testing in his place, or else he will give required test data, required few client real-time user data, and he will take help from our testing team. Okay, maximum UAT will be performed by their office only. It will not be come to our offshore, means come to our company. So same series of activities being performed here, requirement analysis. So they will just whether acceptance will be there or not. Okay, and the system design, whether this test design was accepted by this design team or not. Okay, again, this IT design people will look over about the system test design. Okay, system test design in the sense how the testing is going carried out and everything, because all these of activities will be coordinated and has to be done one after another.
Okay.
So every time, whatever the activity which we were performing, everything is followed by, see, requirement analysis is there. So again, customer will review this. Okay, system design was completed from our end. Again, customer will review this, means client will review this. So everything will be review. Everything will be review, verification and validation. Okay, means constant checks from our activity which we were doing. We were means not only testing team, every team here. Okay, so that's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason the intention is to involve from the early phases of development life cycle is just to identify the defects as soon as possible, so that the cost of fixing defect will be very less to the client. Okay. So in order to reduce the cost of fixing defect, we would be doing the verification and validation, okay, in each and every activity. Verification in the sense, we are just verifying the requirements, we were just checking the requirements, whether the discussed things are going correctly or not, whether it is a piece of piece of application code or some screen testing or whatever it may be. Okay, and the validation also by giving proper input to the screen. We were just validating it. Suppose validation in this, see, have a great meeting should be, the requirement would be have a great meeting should be aligned properly in the center of the screen. Okay, that is our requirement. So I'm just verifying the text here whether it displayed properly or not. Okay, this is the verification. Okay.
Okay.
If I'm clicking on this try again, it has to go to the try again. Means through keyboard, you are clicking on it. Means you are validating whether this functionality is correct or not. Whether this link is properly navigating to the correct page or not. So this is nothing but a validation. Okay. So as a series of activities followed by reviews and constant verification and validation, this model looks like V model. So people will call it as V model, and in general also they will not they will not prefer this type of V model. Mostly, as per my knowledge, mostly used model is waterfall model. Okay, and other model also, I'll just let you know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so up to now this is clear, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we discussed about waterfall and V model. These models are basically comes under sequential models, very traditional kind of models. Okay, people will go for this type of models when the size of project is very small. Okay, and coming to the incremental models. Okay, incremental models are when our organization people will go for incremental model means a software delivery will be scheduled for multiple releases in the sense deliveries, and the application will be implemented cycle by cycle. In any incremental model, both verification and validation are required because it is large application. Okay, incremental models are very best suitable for large size of applications. Okay, each and every application, I mean, each and every if it is large application, we would be having the more number of requirements. So we cannot able to work on all the requirements at the same time. So that's the reason they will segregate requirements into release by release. Okay, so they will just perform everything in a cycle by cycle. Every activity will be performed in a cycle by cycle. Cycle by cycle means one after another. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, one release is there, simultaneously 5 or 6 releases will be happening. Okay, and simultaneously the resources will be working on it, and at end of the day we'll deliver it to customer. Okay, means suppose if we take one project, okay, developer will create one module, okay, and another developer will create one more module, and another developer will create another module. Okay, module in the sense a piece of code which I told you, right? So for that, in that model, separate requirements and separate coding, everything will be developed by them. Separate testing team, separate team will be there for every module which they were considering. Everything will be considered as one mini project. Okay, they will keep one separate deadline for that, and they will just perform their activities. So like this, these three modules, these three mini projects will be parallelly working upon by different teams in our project only, as the application is very large, and they will deliver it to customer. So in this is model, we can call it as rapid application development model, as it is very fast. Okay, we can consider it as rapid application development model. Okay, rapid in the sense it is very fast. Okay,
Okay.
so in this RAD model, even this is also comes under incremental model only. So a big project will be divided into modules, and every module will be considered as a mini project. Separate teams will be scheduled for implementing these modules. So all modules are getting implemented simultaneously, means parallelly. So once all modules are developed, all these modules will be combined and released to the customer. We can deliver it to the customer. So it is so expensive model because more resources required. Hence, it is recommended only when there is a short time for developing a project, as the application will be implemented so fastly in this model. So hence we can call it as RAD model, means Rapid Application Development Model. Got it right, or can I just repeat it again?
No, it's fine.
Okay, okay. So that's what I have mentioned here. Okay, and the next type of model is prototype model. Okay, here also the same set of SDLC models we will follow, but the procedure will be the different. See, this prototype model is well suitable for big size of projects, okay, where the customer requirements are not clear. As the customer requirements are not very clear, instead of developing the actual application with unclear requirements, a dummy application called prototype will be developed and demonstrated to the customer to get the early feedback. Okay, so once the client approved the prototype, based on this, system requirements will be prepared and verified. Once system requirements are verified, the prototype will be discarded and all the remaining SDLC activities will be carried out based on the system requirements. Okay, if any changes are requested by the customer after delivering the system, the same will be documented as change request, and this change request will be incorporated in our existing system. Okay, so based on these changes made to system requirements, all remaining activities will be updated. So these same cycles will be continued for all the modules in the current project.
Okay.
Means this spiral model also suitable for big projects only, where if the requirements are not very clear, okay, if the requirements are not very clear, we are not going to have, sometimes the clients are not very too much available for us also to discuss and everything also based on the client. That's the reason, based on the client's time availability, cost and budgeting and the resources availability, the our way of model will be differed. Okay, means if the customer requirements are not very clear, we cannot go ahead and we cannot build our application, right, with our own assumption. So instead, yeah, even sometimes the client also he may not say, okay, let's go ahead. So sometimes he will also say, okay, let's create a dummy application. Dummy application is just a prototype kind of thing, just like a blueprint. When we were constructing our house, we would be having a blueprint just to get an estimation. Where could be the bedroom, where could be the hall, where could be the center hall, where could be the washrooms, and where could be the balcony and wash area, just to get an assumption how we will be getting the blueprint from an architect. Just like that, he will also expect some dummy kind of application, okay, just to get an assumption. Then if he given the green signal, then our people will follow. They just discard that dummy application and they will just creating the actual one. Okay, so the series of the activities will be followed by the same. Okay.
Okay.
But whenever in this model, whenever if the customer is said, okay, when we are developing the things, if he said, okay, in this page, just an example, in this page, I do not need this text. Okay,
Okay.
instead, I need the text as hello ABC. Okay, there may be a chance of changing the requirements in between also by client. Okay, everything will be well documented. Okay, everything will be proper estimation, proper effort, and proper cost will be taken from the client. Okay, everything will be again doing from the same. Okay, so we can consider it as change request and everything will be properly documented, everything will be properly developed. And the same SDLC activities will be carried out. So that's the main disadvantage on this. So that's the reason client has to be very strong enough in when the requirements are being discussed. Even our people also, our leadership management team, our offshore team also has to be very strong with the client requirements and everything. Because whatever the SDLC model which we were following, it's not only job of one team, it's a job of all the teams. Okay, so we have to coordinate each other, then only we can able to successfully deliver the application to the client, what are the model we choose. But it's a ultimately decision and decision maker of the client only. Okay,
Okay.
in this model. Okay, see, complicated. means the requirements are not very clear. Then only we can able to create one prototype. Okay. I just mentioned what could be the advantages and disadvantages. Okay. Up to now, are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So one more type of model is spiral model. Okay, spiral in the sense, you know, right? What could be the spiral? Uh, Spiral means series of activities, like cycle by cycle it will go. How to say, spider with there, right? Spider net, you know that. Spider net, you know, right? How it could be? It could be circle and circle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can call it as, why we can call it a spiral model? I will tell you. See, a spiral model is best suitable for big maintenance projects, okay, where there are dynamic requirements, okay, and frequently changing requirements. In this
Okay.
model, the project will be implemented requirement by requirement. As the flow of activities look like a spiral net, we can call it a spiral model. See, dynamic requirements in the sense, new requirements from the customer. See, just suppose we will take here here in India, Airtel is the biggest network provider, mobile network provider. Okay, and for that competitive, BSNL is there. Okay, Idea is there. Okay, and Vodafone is there. All these are competitive to each other. Means daily they would be updating their features and giving the features and giving the offers to their customers. Okay, in that way, this is not a never-ended story for an Airtel customer. So he would be introducing every time dynamic requirements, means new requirements. Okay, we can expect new requirements from the Airtel customers, and also frequently changing requirements. That's the reason we can consider this type of projects as big maintenance projects. Every time the work will be there, every time the maintenance will be there. Okay, the actual product will be there, but few requirements will be changing and few requirements will be removed. So like that. Got it right. Yesterday we discussed that big maintenance projects in the sense. Not
Yeah.
everything. See, calculator is there in our system. For this, maintenance will not be required because this is a standard one. So they just
Okay.
developed it, they just installed, they have given this application to us. Okay. Whereas Gmail is there and the Facebook is there and the Twitter, Instagram is there. Just 5 years back, Instagram, and this year, Instagram will be different. Look and feel wise, and the options and the features which they were offering. Right? You might be observed it, right? Even WhatsApp also, in earlier days, we do not have the attachment and the voice images. Okay, voice images by language, it's not there. But daily by daily, they are just improving in the terms of features, as most of the customers are using their apps, just like WhatsApp and the Facebook, like that. So for each and every requirement, again this series of activities will be designed, like again getting confirmation on the requirement, again design, coding, testing. Okay, so every time as the model looks like spiral, we can call it a spiral only, a spiral model. Okay,
Okay.
you understand?
Yes. Those are all different models.
Yes, different models based on the customer preferences and the customer requirements.
Okay.
Okay, so people will decide which one is the which model is the preferred one. It's good to have the knowledge on it, but it's not an interview question also. Just to
Okay.
good to have the knowledge on it. Yeah, and Yeah, Agile model. See, Agile model is the latest trend which was happening in real time. Okay, this is model frequently used. Means all the models will be used. Okay, but I have worked on waterfall model and the Agile model. These are the frequently used waterfall models. Okay, so software is developed in incremental, rapid, and okay, this is with results each release in building on previous functionality. Okay, so just we discussed about the incremental and the rapid application developments, right? Agile also just a mix and combination of that only. Okay, so advantages of Agile model is we would be very near to the client. Okay, every time we would be uh, getting confirmation and based and approved from the from the client. Okay, and in this by opting this Agile model, customer satisfaction, okay, in continuous delivery of software. It is not only the one day job every time. See, in my company HSBC account is there. It was there for 8 years almost. From 8 years onwards, HSBC is maintaining engagement relationship with my current organization. Okay, means a series of activities and series of continuous delivery of software, means in application in a satisfied way. That's the reason client is also traveling with us since from 8 years. And according to my knowledge, and 4 or 5 years contract also there, and after that also it may be renewed. Okay, and working software is delivered frequently. Okay, even late changes in the requirements also welcomed in this model. And whatever the late changes are, change request came from client, that also be considered as change request. And again, we would be developing that requirements and we would be giving it to the client.
Okay.
Okay, so in this Agile model, our testing is like due to sudden changes. Sudden changes in the sense I said, right, client has authority to change the requirements. Okay, so again the development and testing team has to modify their code, and testing team has to modify their test cases with respect to the requirement changes. Okay, so this type of changes related to testing, it's nothing but an Agile testing. Okay, see, first they have given to develop a application. Okay, and then again client only came and to develop the B application. So okay, again that time whatever the change thing is happening, change request is happening from the client, again the separate effort estimation, the separate time will be given to us for development team as well as testing team. Okay, why I'm mentioning specifically development team? Developers are the persons who create all these screens and the functionality, everything. Okay. Hello?
Yes.
You got it right. So if the
Yes.
development is changed, again we have to change our testing also, right? Our test plan will be affected. Test plan in the sense, test plan document is a guideline document for all of our testing. Okay, by seeing the test plan document, we can assure that, okay, um, what could be the start date, what could be the end date, any risk and mitigation, what are all the requirements has been assigned to the team. Everything we can see it in test plan document. Okay, I'll explain you and I will show you how the sample test plan document looks like. This will be prepared by our test manager and the test lead. Okay, it's not the team members responsible to do it because test plan document will be based on effort and estimation also. This will come from the past experience only. Okay,
Okay.
it will be organization level document. Just we can see the releases, what could be the start date and end date of the release. Okay, so this is the Agile model. Okay, in this Agile model we can perform our testing activities like this. Any doubts on this? Anything I need to repeat it again?
No. No.
Okay, okay. So I have given the detailed thing here. So you just go through it. In interview, if they ask what are all the models which you know, okay, you just tell about, yeah, based on the customers, clients' time availability, resource availability, and the
Budget.
cost, budgeting. Yeah. So our leadership team, our management team will go with selection of waterfall models. Okay. So we have two types of models: sequential model and incremental model. Under sequential model, we have waterfall model and V model. Under incremental model, we have a rapid application development model, prototype model, and the agile model. Okay, so you can explain in a just take 2 to 3 points from each model and just try to, in interview, try to explain in such a way like that you know the subject, you know the concept, you are differentiating the each model, so that they will not go for extra, keeping you the extra questions on that same question. Okay, so prepare only for 2 to 3 points, that has to be clear. Okay, and you say it to the you deliver it to the at the time of interview,
Okay.
because it will build the sufficient confidence on you. Okay. Okay, so can I move to other topic then?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay, we will discuss about testing techniques. What is static testing? And you have an idea about static testing?
Statics. No idea.
Okay, fine. So it is a process of verifying, are we developing the right system or not. It is also called verification. Okay,
Okay.
this static testing will be conducted with the help of reviews and the walkthroughs. Okay, static testing in the sense we are just verifying, are we doing the correct system or not, are we building the correct application or not. Okay,
Okay.
so as the example suggests, see, a session is already running. Okay, this text I was verifying and I'm not doing anything. I'm just verifying whether with any spelling mistakes, with the red color only, whether it is displayed or not. And after that, one line should be passed and some text has displayed. Okay, so I'm just verifying the content, the text on the screen, whether it is correct or not as per the requirement document. Okay, so we can call it a static testing.
Okay.
And this with the help of reviews and walkthroughs, we can do it. Reviews and walkthroughs means if we are not confident enough about our requirement application, then we would be sitting with our business analyst and subject matter expert, ensure whether we are doing the correct thing or not. Whereas dynamic testing will comes under, see, if I click on this minimize, it has to be minimized. Means
Okay.
something, the operation, something activity I was doing on this screen. Okay, if I click on this close, this window has to be closer. If I click on this close button, it has to be closed. Okay, once again, my door is knocking.
Okay, no
Just be
problem.
back.
Testing. Static testing. Testing. Static. Testing technique. Static testing. Static testing.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Chomon, I'm back. So basically, I'm just letting you know about the difference between the static testing and the dynamic testing. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
static testing in the sense, just it will be a form of reviews and the walkthroughs like that. Okay. And but static testing has its own techniques and dynamic testing has its own techniques. Okay. Static testing, as I said, static testing will be in the form of reviews and the walkthroughs. Actually, what is a review? We are just cross verifying whether it is correct or not, right?
Okay.
So examining a project related work or a process related work, we can call it as a review. Okay,
Yeah.
just like example, examining the requirements, design specifications, and code, etc. We can call it as a review. Okay, so we are not going to execute the code, and even it's not our responsibility to do that. But here we will review. We will review means basically the development team. They will review. They will review the project related stuff like the documents or the requirements, whether it is correct or not. It will be done by actually the management team, the managers, basically the big headed people only. Means big designated people, managers, senior managers, delivery managers, like that. So we do have, for reviews also, we do have three types of reviews. Okay, management review, technical review, formal review, informal review. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. So what is management review? So these reviews will be conducted by middle level management and high level management to monitor the project status. Okay, means we are the team members. Okay, we will report to our lead. Our lead report our work status to manager. Our manager will report this work status to our senior manager. See, there was a hierarchy, right? If you take any company or organization. So basically, our managers and senior managers, they will just review the amount of work. Review in the sense, they will just observe whether the things are going in a streamlined process or not. And if any deviation between planned effort to actual effort is identified, then the management will take the appropriate corrective actions to cover that slippage. Slippage in the sense, for example, some amount of work has been assigned to you, just for an example, by me, and it has to complete it by 31st. But I have observed that it was not completed by 31st and it was going on. So by status reports and by having this management review, I observed it and I came into the picture. Okay, and I will try to take corrective actions and means I will sit with you. What happened, Choman? Are you facing any difficulties or are you facing any issues? Why this delay was happened? Okay, I will take corrective appropriate actions. Okay, to cover that gap. Okay, so for this daily or weekly project status meetings are also called as management review. Generally, see, for us, we are working only in one application as a team member. Okay, but for our project manager, he would be handling multiple projects. And also, our delivery manager will be handling multiple project members. He will also looking into everything, right? You got it, what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. So this type of management reviews will be done in order to uh, find out the gaps, if actual effort and actual thing, what is the actual plan and what are the expected plan. If both are both are working in a same line, same stringent line, then no need to have that. If anything, if any gaps are identified, if any issues are identified, then management will take appropriate actions and they will do necessary things. Okay, so they will just review the things in a high level. Okay,
Okay.
and the next type of review is technical review. So
Okay.
these reviews will be conducted among technical members to decide the best approach of implementation when there are any confusions while implementing a technical job. Technical review in the sense, see, developers has get the requirements on A requirement, and sometimes they do have few confusions on that. Okay, and this type of reviews will even just like our testing team, development also has the team, and they will also have a lead and the manager also. They will also guide their development team for a best approach to be followed. Best approach in the sense which technology has to be followed, and I mean, coming to the development era, .NET, Java, JavaScript, many of the accelerators which they will implement in their daily life, their daily activities. Means they have many of the coding languages, right? Which one has to be used, which one has to be skipped. They know, right? If which are the development thing which we take, that faster we can reduce the impact. If the requirement clarifications are not clear, if they have any confusions, then this type of technical reviews will be conducted among the development team only. Okay, they will be getting reviewed their piece of code with the architect. Okay, and they would be taking a few suggestions among them. So it's mainly based on the technical thing. Okay, technical in the sense the code. Okay, so this type of reviews will be conducted among the technical members. Basically, it's for the development team. Okay. Yeah, and one more type of review is if a review is conducted with a prior plan and by following a systematic procedure and the proper documentation, and we can call it as formal review. Okay. For example, we received a software requirement specification document, system requirement specification document, and it was written in 300 pages. Okay, who has written this document? Basically, the business analyst document, business analyst will prepare this business requirement as well as system requirement specification document. So they will send, once that SRS has prepared with 300 pages, this BA will send an formal request, means he will send a formal email to his uh, uh, to BA's lead, means BA also will report to one lead, right? So 1 second, Choman,
No
my door
problem.
is.
Oh, wait, performing testing components. Static. Static.
Envía dinero con Remitly a tus seres queridos en Latinoamérica.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, Chomon, I'm back. Yeah, apologies for that.
no problem.
Yeah. So now we were discussing about the formal review. So this type of review will be conducted with a prior plan and by following few systematic procedures and the proper documentation. We can consider these reviews as formal reviews. Just an example, business analyst has prepared a system requirement specification document in 300 pages. Okay, he would be sending an formal email to the moderator. Okay, and this SRS document will be reviewed by moderator. Okay, I'll let you know who is the author, the writer of a document, who has written the document, business analyst. Okay, and this BA has sent an email to the moderator. Okay, we can call this moderator as inspection leader also. So he is the main person who leads the review activities. Means he will just lead the review activity. Okay, and what this under this moderator, inspector will be there. Inspector or reviewer means who all are involved in that review activity, who all are the participants, like that. Okay, and the scribe or recorder, and this person also will be reporting to the moderator only. So generally a person who involved in recording defects during review meeting. Defects in the sense the observations, if anything was wrongly written, because all these people are involved in the review meeting, right? So this BA person is going to walk through everything in that review meeting. This has been communicated and this has been written. So like that in a very high level way. Okay. But in the formal reviews, the terminology will be used by the author, moderator, inspector, scribe. Okay. Are you clear?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So one more type of review is informal review, and basically it's a code as well as peer review. The name itself, it was informal review, means
Okay.
suppose we are a testing team and we are a 4 resources. Okay, um, our test lead will ask us to review uh, the test cases each other. Like you are working on R1 requirement and I'm working on R2 requirement. Okay, I will review your test cases and you will review my test cases. The purpose of reviewing these test cases, see, tester will have the mindsets or different mindsets on their own. Suppose based on the requirement, if I get the new idea, I will just let you know so that you can add your test scenario and the test case. And simultaneously, if during review, if you come across anything, okay, if I missed anything, and you can also suggest me to do that. So that's the reason we can consider it as informal review. There is no IT standard to conduct this, but it's the own wish and own benefit of the testing team or the development team also, just to review their piece of work is working or not. Okay, whether everything is being correct or not. Okay. Okay. So coming, yeah. So for formal review, we do have different phases. Okay. So kickoff meeting in the sense, what could be the agenda of that meeting? Everything will be given, and after that preparation in the sense documenting the things. After that review meeting, whatever the piece of work which we have done, it will be reviewed in that meeting. And if we miss anything, it has to be reworked. Okay, and again it will be followed whether that work was done or not. Okay, so generally these are the activities will be involved in the formal reviews. Okay, so that is the reason it's a good habit to have the minutes of meetings. When this MOM, minutes of meetings, means, see, in my company, development team is some other organization, testing is in some other organization. Okay, so we have to coordinate each other. So that's the reason whenever we have a meeting, so my best practice is I'll prepare a minutes of meetings after whenever the meeting was completed. Means what I will give attendees who are all has attended that meeting. Okay, after that, I will give the description on what are all the pointers and what are all the requirements which we have discussed on it. Okay, and third point would be action points. What are all the action points? Okay, suppose if I asked any query and that person is not answerable and he said in next meeting I'll answer you on that. So I'll just mention that also. I discussed on R1.1 and so X person will answer this on subsequent meeting. Okay, by giving this minutes of meeting, we are also ensuring this has been discussed and this has been pending. We can also ensure everything is going in a track. Okay, see,
Okay.
assume that we both are only having a meeting right now. Okay, so after this meeting, you can send me the minutes of meeting. How you can send? In an email, you can send attendees. Who are all the attendees here? Sandhya and Chomon. Okay, description. What we have discussed, Sdlc models and testing
Technique.
techniques. Okay, and what are and one more types of reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the description. Okay, suppose you have asked me one question. Okay, what is that? What is scribe? You just asked it. Okay, suppose if I'm not in a position to answer, okay, then action point on me. Okay, means Sandhya will provide the scribe discuss on scribe in upcoming session.
Okay.
Okay, if you can mention this in the email, it looks like okay, you're also following the procedures which your organization has been set up, means the meeting, and also your lead and the manager also will get a good impression. Okay, Chomon was following this. Okay, ensuring that who are all has attendees and what were has been discussed. Okay, what's the agenda of this and what is the action plan, means you are mentioning here each and everything, means from first to start. Okay, it's a very good practice of sending MYM, means minutes of meeting. What is the type of meeting it is? Okay, means our project related meeting. It's better to send minutes of meeting document after each and every meeting. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the phases will be involved for formal reviews. Okay, and informal reviews. So as I said, if a review is carried out without any plan and without following any procedure, we can call it as informal reviews. Okay, code reviews. Code reviews will be done by the developers. Okay, in their internally in their team itself, they will be reviewing it, and sometimes there will be that review will be reviewed by or their architect also. Okay, development architect also, ensuring that their team member were developing the correct thing or not. Okay, just like once we done our test cases, we will send our we will send our test case document to our lead just to review him. In case if he miss anything, he will be there. He will be there to guide us. so that if he miss anything, he will just let us know. Again, we will add it. So just that is the advantage of having the peer reviews as well as the code reviews. Peer reviews in the sense peer, our colleague reviews, buddy checks, peer reviews, we can call it as. Okay, just the reviews are connected among our colleagues or the team members, we can call it as peer reviews or the colleague reviews or the buddy checks, like that. Okay, so the intention and the objective of reviews is to find out the defects in the requirements, to find the defects in its design, to identify the deviation in progress, like development or testing, and to improve the process also. Means we can suggest the process, we can suggest the and good idea also. Okay, just to improvise the review process, how it could be. Okay, that's the main purpose of the review. And walkthrough also a step-by-step presentation conducted by the author or by a domain expert about any subject, we can call it as walkthrough. So generally we can call it as KT session, like knowledge transfer session. Okay, we can also call it as walkthrough. Suppose you have joined in a company as a new joinee and your existing team members will provide you KT session, means knowledge transfer session on the existing application which you are going to work for few days. So we can call that one also as walkthrough. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is about the static testing. Okay, static testing will be performed by reviews as well as walkthroughs. So in reviews also we discussed about the management review, technical review, okay, and formal review and informal review. Okay, so tomorrow we will discuss about the dynamic testing. Okay, it's very important. Okay, we will discuss in next class.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so up to now you're clear for
Yes.
this. Yeah, but still you just go through that material, or you can just go through other material also, whichever is available based on your time. Okay, we'll discuss
Okay.
session. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So
Okay
are
then. Yeah.
we going to have class tomorrow too?
Sorry. Yeah. Same.
Tomorrow? Same. Okay, okay.
Yeah. 8 to 9 IST. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah. You too. Bye. Bye. Good night.